Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that has a ton of Elder Scrolls fans, myself included, absolutely buzzing. While we've all been refreshing our feeds for any news on the Elder Scrolls 6, Bethesda pulled a fast one and dropped Oblivion Remastered. And let me tell you, it's not just a fresh coat of paint. We're talking about a full visual overhaul, reworked gameplay systems, and a slick new UI that somehow manages to feel modern and nostalgic at the same time. It's like stepping back into Cyrodiil with brand new eyes. Now, if you're just starting your adventure in this remastered masterpiece, one of the first things you'll want to lock down is a solid set of armor. And I've got you covered. In this video, we're breaking down the best armor sets you can grab early in the game, the kind that'll keep you alive when mudcrabs start feeling brave and bandits think you're easy loot. Whether you're going full tank or sneaky stabby, these picks will give you a strong start in the wild world of Oblivion. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. Alright, let's talk about one of the best early game armor sets you can get in Oblivion Remastered, Elven Armor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Elven gear? That sounds like something I will find way later. And normally, you would be right. Elven Armor does not start spawning until around level 15. But here's the twist. There is actually a way to get the full set way before that. Yep, even in single-digit levels. All you need is a bit of patience and a visit to the Fighters Guild. So here is the trick. During the Fighters Guild questline, you will eventually face off against a rather nasty character named Azani Blackheart. And guess what? If you manage to take him down, you can loot his body and grab the full Elven Armor set right then and there. No need to wait until level 15, and no need to grind gold to buy it from a vendor. It is just sitting there on his corpse, waiting for you to claim it like a true champion. Stat-wise, Elven Armor is fantastic for a light armor user, especially in the early stages of the game. It has a base armor rating of 40, which is solid, and the armor health sits at a beefy 3520. That means it is going to take quite a beating before it starts falling apart. And despite looking like something an elven prince would wear to a royal gala, it only weighs 35.1 units. That is pretty light considering how durable it is, so you get style, protection, and mobility all in one elegant package. What makes this armor really shine is its value early on. You are not spending any gold, you are not relying on random drops, and you are getting gear that is statistically better than pretty much anything else available in the first 10 levels. Sure, enemies will start showing up with stronger armor as you level up, but Elven Armor gives you a serious head start. If you are planning to play a light armored build, this is a no-brainer. Let me tell you about one of the best early game armors you can get in Oblivion Remastered, the Raiment of Valor. This beauty is your reward for finishing the arena questline, and trust me, it is absolutely worth the effort. Whether you lean toward light or heavy armor, you will get the version that matches your highest skill, which is a pretty cool feature. You beat the Great Prince in the final match, and boom! You walk out with a shiny new raiment that boosts your personality, athletics, fatigue, and health. Not bad for a day's work in the pit, right? Now, what makes this armor even more appealing is how early you can get it, technically speaking. As soon as you start your adventure, you can head straight to the arena in the Imperial City and start climbing the ranks. Sure, it is not exactly a walk in the park, unless you tweak the game difficulty, which is totally an option if you're just trying to gear up fast. You can also stack up on potions and gear to make those matches a lot smoother. It is a bit of a grind, but honestly, it is one of the most satisfying early game paths to take. Let's talk numbers for a second. The light armor version gives you 15 base armor, weighs 13 units, and has 100 health. The heavy version bumps that up to 20 base armor, 72 weight, and a whopping 1000 armor health. Both have the same value, 3,655 gold, which is pretty solid if you are thinking about what you are getting stats-wise. Whether you are building a nimble rogue or a tanky warrior, the Raiment of Valor slots in nicely and gives you a real edge in those first dozen hours of gameplay. But, because this is an Elder Scrolls game, we have to talk about the bugs. There are a few weird issues with the arena. Sometimes Owen might refuse to start a match even when the time is right, and in rare cases, the armor itself can glitch out and break. It is a good idea to make a manual save before heading into a fight, just in case things go sideways. All that said, the Raiment of Valor still holds up as one of the best early armors in Oblivion Remastered. If you're ready to brawl your way to greatness, the arena is calling. If you're just getting started in Oblivion Remastered and looking for a solid armor set to carry you through those early levels, chainmail armor might just be what you need. It is not the flashiest or the strongest armor in the game, but when it comes to balancing durability, weight, and accessibility, it really shines for beginners. With a base armor rating of 30 and a health stat of 1146, this light armor offers decent protection without turning your character into a walking statue. Now, let's talk about movement. One of the best things about chainmail armor is its flexibility. Unlike heavy armor sets that make you feel like you are dragging a horse cart behind you, this one keeps things relatively smooth. Sure, there is a minor reduction in movement speed, but nothing that will make you rage quit during a dungeon crawl. Plus, it only weighs 23.6, which is surprisingly manageable considering the amount of protection it provides. You can easily equip the full set and still have room to carry loot, potions, or, let's be honest, 10 different versions of the same sword because you cannot decide which looks cooler. What makes this armor even better is how easy it is to find. Starting at level 6, you will begin to see pieces of chainmail armor pop up in various places. It is not locked behind some impossible quest or endgame chest. In fact, by the time you reach the end of the 2 sides of the coin quest, you will likely have access to the entire set, minus the helmet. There are even random pieces scattered around the city of Kvatch, so keep your eyes open while you explore. And if you're the kind of player who just wants to go straight to the source, you can always buy the chainmail cuirass from Marco Rufus at the best defense. That is right, no level requirement, no grinding. Just walk in, pay the gold, and walk out a little more protected than before. For early game adventurers, that combination of accessibility, decent stats, and light armor classification makes chainmail armor one of the best picks to gear up quickly without sacrificing mobility or gold. Alright, so let's talk about one of the best armor sets you can grab early on in Oblivion Remastered, Umbra's Ebony Armor. This set is no joke, especially if you are running a heavy armor build and want to look like an absolute menace while still being under level 15. Stat-wise, it holds its own with a base armor rating of 55 for levels 1 through 14. That is better than pretty much anything else you will find in that early stretch of the game. And if you wait until level 15 or higher, it gets bumped up to 60. But by then, it is basically identical to the standard ebony armor, which kind of kills the magic a bit. Now, getting your hands on this armor is not a walk in the park. You will need to head over to Vindasal, an ancient Ayleid ruin tucked away in the wilderness. Down in the lowest part of the dungeon, you will find Umbra, a seriously tough wood elf warrior who is not too thrilled to see you. She is fast, aggressive, and hits like a truck. But here is the thing. With the right strategy, you can totally cheese this fight. A popular method is to lure her toward a ledge, drop down out of her reach, and pick her off with ranged attacks. Yes, it is a bit cheap, but hey, all is fair in love and looting. Once you finally take her down, the reward is absolutely worth it. You get her full set of unique ebony armor, which not only has great stats for early to mid-game, but also just looks awesome. There is a certain flair to it that the regular ebony set does not quite match. Plus, she drops a powerful weapon alongside the armor, so it is a 2-for-1 deal if you manage to survive the encounter. That said, the catch is that Umbra's armor starts losing its wow factor after level 15. At that point, its stats are the same as standard ebony armor, which becomes more widely available. So if you really want to get the most out of this gear, go for it as early as you can. High risk, high reward. That is what makes it one of the best armor sets you can score early in Oblivion Remastered. Let's talk about one of the best armor sets you can get early in Oblivion Remastered, the Relics of the Crusader. If you have played Knights of the Nine before, you already know this is not just any armor set. This is the Armor of Legend, earned through one of the most memorable quest lines in the game. The good news? You can actually start the pilgrimage right after finishing the tutorial. Yeah, no level requirement to begin your holy journey. But here is the catch. You are going to want to wait until at least level 20 to pick up the final armor if you care about stats. Trust me, the difference is worth the grind. Now, the armor comes in 2 flavors, heavy and light. And you do not get to choose. Your highest armor skill decides which version you get. If you're running around bashing skulls in full plate, the game gives you the heavy set. If you're more of a nimble rogue dodging fireballs, you get the light version. Both look amazing, and both are loaded with some truly wild passive abilities. We are talking bonuses to restoration and destruction magic, higher personality, reflect spell, and even resistances to weapons and disease. It is basically a full package deal that turns you into a one-man holy army. Stat-wise, the heavy armor is a tank's dream. At level 21 and beyond, you are getting over 80 armor rating and a massive 15,900 armor health. But, of course, that comes with a weight cost of 180.5, not exactly light travel gear. Meanwhile, the light armor version may not have the same defense numbers. It caps at 52.5 base armor, but it still holds its own with solid protection and only 40 weight at max level. Plus, its armor health hits a respectable 7,850. And here is the kicker: the light armor's value peaks much higher at certain levels. So if you are a collector or a trader, you might lean toward the lighter path. One important thing though, this armor has standards. If you have even a single point of infamy, forget it. The Crusader's relics just will not let you wear them. It is a cool touch that reinforces the lore and really makes you feel like you are walking the righteous path. So whether you are role-playing a pure-hearted knight or just want to snag one of the strongest early game armor sets in Oblivion Remastered, the Knights of the Nine questline is 100% worth doing. Level up, keep your record clean, and go claim your relics. You earned them. Steel armor might not be the flashiest gear in Oblivion Remastered, but let me tell you, it absolutely gets the job done when you are just starting out. With a base armor rating of 45 and an armor health of 2000, it is built like a tank. And yes, it is heavy armor, so you are not going to be dodging arrows like a ninja anytime soon, but who needs that when you can take a sword to the chest and keep swinging? For anyone diving into a melee-focused build, this set is a lifesaver. What really makes steel armor stand out is its durability. Repair hammers feel almost useless for a while because this armor can take a beating and still look good doing it. Early in the game, when gold is tight and your gear breaks faster than your stamina bar during a sprint, having something that does not constantly need fixing is a blessing. It is like the game is giving you a little breathing room before things get real. Now, how do you get it? You have got two solid options. If you are flush with coin, just head over to the best defense and buy the set outright. But if you are playing it smart or cheap, swing by the Fighters Guild in Lewin. You can snag a full set for free there, no strings attached. It is one of those rare moments where the game rewards exploration and curiosity, which is always satisfying. Of course, you are not going to wear steel armor forever. As you progress, you will find better gear with higher stats and fancier enchantments. But for those crucial first few hours when every fight feels like a boss battle, steel armor is a reliable companion. It is simple, effective, and surprisingly stylish in that classic knight in shining armor kind of way. You will outgrow it eventually, but for a while, it feels like wearing invincibility itself. Steel armor might not be the flashiest gear in Oblivion Remastered, but let me tell you, it absolutely gets the job done when you are just starting out. With a base armor rating of 45 and an armor health of 2000, it is built like a tank. And yes, it is heavy armor, so you are not going to be dodging arrows like a ninja anytime soon. But who needs that when you can take a sword to the chest and keep swinging? For anyone diving into a melee-focused build, this set is a lifesaver. What really makes steel armor stand out is its durability. Repair hammers feel almost useless for a while because this armor can take a beating and still look good doing it. Early in the game, when gold is tight and your gear breaks faster than your stamina bar during a sprint, having something that does not constantly need fixing is a blessing. It is like the game is giving you a little breathing room before things get real. Now, how do you get it? You have got two solid options. If you're flush with coin, just head over to the best defense and buy the set outright. But if you are playing it smart or cheap, swing by the Fighters Guild in Lewin. You can snag a full set for free there, no strings attached. It is one of those rare moments where the game rewards exploration and curiosity, which is always satisfying. Of course, you are not going to wear steel armor forever. As you progress, you will find better gear with higher stats and fancier enchantments. But for those crucial first few hours when every fight feels like a boss battle, steel armor is a reliable companion. It is simple, effective, and surprisingly stylish in that classic knight in shining armor kind of way. You will outgrow it eventually, but for a while, it feels like wearing invincibility itself. If you are looking to kick off your adventure in Oblivion Remastered with a serious sense of style, then Brusef Emelian's armor might just be what you are looking for. Sure, it is labeled as light armor, but let me tell you, there is nothing light about the way it looks. This set is genuinely one of the most beautiful armor designs in the entire remaster. The clean silver finish, the elegant curves, it is the kind of armor that makes you stop and admire your character every few minutes. But hey, style has its burdens. Let us talk stats. The base armor rating is 29 with a weight of 126 and an armor health of 1190. That is pretty solid for something you can get fairly early in the game. The standout feature though is the cuirass, which comes with a built-in enchantment, 6% frost shield. That might not sound like a lot, but in the early game when you are facing off against frost spells or ice storms, it is a real lifesaver. And because it is a shield effect, it stacks with regular armor, which is always a bonus. So how do you get your hands on this shiny masterpiece? It is tied to the Fighters Guild questline, specifically the Emelian's Debt quest. You will be sent to recover Brusef Emelian's cuirass and sword to help cover his family's financial troubles. Now here is the trick. You can just pay off the debt with gold and keep both the armor and the sword for yourself. It is a bit sneaky, but let's be honest, we have all done worse in the Elder Scrolls games. Now, before you get too attached, keep in mind that all pieces of the set weigh the same, which makes it oddly heavy for light armor. You are definitely sacrificing some mobility here. Also, since the armor stats scale with your level, you might want to hold off on completing the quest until you have leveled up a bit. Still, for an early to mid-game set, it is hard to beat if you want to look good while bashing skulls. Later on, you will definitely find better options, but for the first dozen hours or so, Brusef Emelian's armor is a stylish and effective companion. If you're just getting started in Oblivion Remastered, then you know how tough it can be to choose the right armor early on. Your stats are basically at rock bottom, your carry weight is super limited, and let's be honest, every point of armor rating matters. That is where the Shrouded Armor comes in. It is one of those rare sets that feels like it was made for early game survival. Lightweight, stealth-focused, and surprisingly durable for its category, this armor is a must-pick for anyone looking to take the rogue or assassin route. What really makes the Shrouded Armor stand out is how well it supports a stealthy playstyle. The armor type is light, with a base armor rating of 17.5 and a weight of only 2.85. That means you will not be bogged down while sneaking around. Plus, it comes enchanted with boosts to Sneak, Illusion, Marksman, Blade, and Acrobatics. That is pretty much the dream kit for anyone who wants to strike from the shadows and vanish before anyone knows what hit them. Even better, it has a decent armor health of 5 and 20, so it will not fall apart the moment you take a couple of hits. Now, to get your hands on the Shrouded Armor, you will need to walk a darker path. Literally. You can earn it by joining the Dark Brotherhood, a faction that deals in assassination contracts and other morally questionable activities. To get in, you need to kill a non-playable character. Yep, straight up. That choice might close off a few other questlines down the road, as you will gain infamy for joining the Brotherhood. But hey, sometimes you have to break a few rules to get the good gear, right? That said, for those who want to keep their reputation clean, or at least somewhat intact, there is a clever workaround. You can avoid the infamy hit by taking out certain non-playable characters who do not trigger the penalty. So if you want to go full stealth mode without hurting your chances with other factions, do a little research before making your move. Either way, the Shrouded Armor is one of the best early game armor sets in Oblivion Remastered. It looks cool, plays even cooler, and gives you the upper hand when you are still finding your footing in Tamriel. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.